Welcome one and all, HJ19 here, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Breakdown, where I break down the day, the deck, or the duel, and everything in between. And today's breakdown is OniHeroes. And a lot of things inspired me from Nathan's deck list, and I hope to be able to try these lanes of play out. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see what I have brought to the table. And that would be an incredibly sick token that I've had for you. It's cute, right? Anyways, so very much so. Crosskeeper, just like Nathan's. One Neos, because that's all you need. One Spirit of Neos, because you can bring it out with Crosskeeper. You can search for your protection of the elements, and brings you polymerization as well. Very much a needed card for this variant. You don't need it, right? But it allows you to search out more than just the standard cards within the deck. Then we have 3 Stratos, and my god, I get it now. On certain occasions, and for the Neos deck, I still believe that 2 Stratos is sufficient enough, but for this in particular deck, I think OniHeroes can make use of Stratos much more effectively. One liquid. I know I've been seeing a lot of deck lists trying to run this at 2, which is interesting. I don't believe that it's needed, but 1 is fine. 1 Shadow Mist. I still feel very weird about this, but I'm trying it out. That is it for the heroes, and interestingly enough, that is 7 heroes. Then we have the standard that I've always done: 2 Ferris, 2 Vion, and 2 Increase. I just like this ratio. I feel like I draw into Ferris or search out Ferris sufficiently enough, and it gives me 1 more card to play with. Yeah, even in my past videos, I still believe that 2 Ferris is enough. Just enough. And that is 6 Vision Heroes. Then 1 Plasma, 2 Malicious, 1 Denier, and 1 Dark Angel. Now, because I'm not playing Droll and Lockbird in the main deck, I cut out Draw Hand, which I still believe Draw Hand was great at manipulating your opponent's hand and controlling it, but we're trying to go for very oppressive, so it's a very tight monster pool that we have here. And that is 5 Destiny Heroes, so that's 5, 6, 7 in total. That's great. Then for the spells, we have triple A Hero Lives, great card. Still 3 Fusion Destiny. I know I've been seeing people cut this card, and yeah, I don't know why. I think it's because of the fact that a lot of people only play 1 DPE. I suggest if you're playing OniHeroes, at least try two Destiny Hero fusions. Especially Dystopia is very good, only specifically for time, but that extra burn in any occasion helps. 1 E-Call. I wasn't very keen on running 3, and Nathan convinced me to play 1. Not personally, but like seeing him run only 1, I'm like, let's try 1 out, and plus gotta rock the secret, right? 1 Ian Shuffle. I believe Ian Shuffle and emergency call can benefit in a lot of ways, given the fact that if you're not under Droll and Lockbird, you can plus even more so with Ian Shuffle and return your Neos to the deck for any occasion and to draw, Also, don't forget, if you return the Neos that was sent to the graveyard and you have Fusion Destiny in hand, then you're setting up a Fusion Destiny 4 DPE to send Neos. So just keep that in mind. Then we have 1 Mass Change. I get it. It's become a brick in a lot of occasions, and right now it feels like banishing the opponent's graveyard unless you're going against Sword Souls or other graveyard intensive decks. Dark Law has lost its power right now, but it will be back, and there are a lot of decks that are very susceptible to Dark Law. But for the time being, main deck wise, you only just want to run one. Then one Miracle Fusion. I still stand by this. 2 polymerizations, because if we ever get Droll and Lockbird, if you hard draw into poly and you have a handful or a good amount of monsters in hand, these polys will get you out of a tough situation. I've always run 2 polys, and I still think that it's the way to go. Then instead of the 2, I run 3 Dark Ruler No More. Actually, this is more of a circumstantial decision, only because I'm sharing Forbidden Droplets with another deck. So that's 3 Dark Ruler No More and 1 Forbidden Droplet. So the ratio is still there. You're still bound to draw it, but instead of the 2 2s, it's 3-1. Then Triple Book of Moon. I get it. It enables a lot of things. Then 1 Called by the Grave, obviously. 1 Triple Tactics Talents. Interestingly enough, I've been running either 2 or 1. I've been playing around with 2 or 1, so I definitely understand why. Even having 2 can clutter your deck very much. 1 Rhoda and 1 Foolish Burial. I never really liked playing Foolish Burial, only because I felt like the opponent would be able to preemptively see that you're trying to set up for your graveyard plays, but definitely understand why it fills in the gaps of playing the other 2 Crosskeepers. Then 1 Favorite Contact and 1 Protection of the Elements. It's good. You know, it's not as good as Infernal Rage, but it is pretty decent, and I just wish that the last effect wasn't so arbitrary. we hero players get shafted in so many ways, and this should have been a really good trap card for heroes, and instead it just became subpar. It can be utilized in a lot of ways, and it's very strong, but not as strong as it could be if unleashed. So that is it for the main deck. We'll have 1 Baguska for the extra deck, 2 Crosskeepers, 1 Infernal Devicer, and 1 Wonder Driver. Nathan Christmas was playing 2, and I totally get it. It's interesting. I'm thinking of doing the same, but until the moment arrives, I am pretty decent for where I am. 1 Blast, 1 Dark Law. Then we're getting into the heroes. We have 1 Aquaneos, 1 Sunrise, 1 Infernal Rage, and 1 Wingman, as well as 1 Aquaneos. Now, I think that any hero player that is using Infernal Rage should use Aquaneos. It just allows more plays on the off chance that you've already run into your Sunrise, and then there have been many occasions where I've had to fuse maybe an extra hero Devicer and Liquid Soldier to summon Sunrise, and then fuse with an extra element here on the graveyard with Miracle Fusion into Infernal Rage. And because these 2 are the only ones, well, the secondary set level 7 target for Infernal Rage's secondary effect is Aquaneos, and it snipes a card from your opponent's hand. It's very good, as well as giving you an extra water attribute in your graveyard, so that if you need to fuse with your Liquid Soldier, you're not worried that you just used up your only water type in your deck. Then we have, of course, Wake Up Your Elemental Hero and Destiny Hero, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, as well as Dystopia for game as well. This also helps because it is an extra pop if you can beef it up. This deck, without without a Dread Decimator. You can't really get this secondary, its pop effect off, but it's still a beefy boy and can be fused with. So keep that in mind. Then we have our side deck. So I still run 3-dimensional barriers. There's a lot of decks that are utilizing Exceeds and Synchros heavily, and especially Duelist Nexus is going to be saturated with Synchro players. So yeah, Dimensional Barrier I think is still a good tech-in. It shuts down a lot of plays for your opponents that are heavy with that. You know, you're going into Sword Souls, Exo Sisters, boom, there you go. Stop them outright. Then we have 3 Evenly Matched, great card. The other 2 Mass Change, because remember, the meta isn't revolved around the graveyard, but there's still a high percentage of decks out there that still utilize the graveyard. So keep that in mind and be prepared. Then we have Harpy Feather Dusters, 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 Joel Lockbird, and our second Dark Law to go into, you know, the graveyard hate intensively. Now, mind you, this is still all, I wouldn't say concept, I would say, you know, I have to take it more to locals. I haven't had time to be able to go and just shoot the shit and play at locals, but I'm setting up my time to do that. So in the meantime, I'm still going to be posting videos, or trying to post videos. And the next video of my Neos deck is something that I am very excited to bring out to the world. I've yet to see people talk about this, and because of a certain ruling, I think a lot of people think that you can't do this. So until the next until the next video, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.